All right, ladies, gentlemen, gamers, and Overwatch lovers, welcome back. Welcome back to another rundown of the patch notes. This time, not for League of Legends, but for Overwatch. So, it's been quite a while since I've reacted to the Overwatch stuff, except for Lifeweaver. He just came out, so I reacted to him. We're in prime Overwatch reaction season. So now we have the patch notes to react to. I expect this to be long, so strap yourselves in. Unfortunately, Jeff Kaplan was not available for us today. He was a little too busy. But regardless, we will go on without him. It's what he would have wanted. So anyway, let's take a look at what's happening in Overwatch 2. New patch will be going live on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation on April 11th. So it's going to be Season 4. Fight for a better future in Season 4. Our newest support hero, Lifeweaver, which I reacted to on YouTube, who hails from Thailand and wields Biolight, so he's the same as Symmetra, enters the fray. Take combat to the cosmos with the new Battle Pass featuring... Oh, wow, well, it said it here anyway. Featuring Battle Pass Mythic Space Conqueror Sigma. Now, if anyone knows anything about me, they know I'm a sucker for space. I love the space theme, so that's going to be interesting. And earn free rewards and events happening throughout the season. Yeah, free quote-unquote. The free rewards are usually old skins or really shitty epics. Not even legendaries, epics. But anyway. Lifeweaver. So I'm not going to spend too much time on Lifeweaver here just because I went over him already on YouTube when I looked at his kit, as well as his trailer. So if y'all are interested in that, you can go see that one. But we'll go over him slightly here. So, scientist, artist, and activist, and also homosexual. Overwatch 2's latest hero entwines the beauty of nature with the practicality of science. He dreams of healing the world. He's very pro-environment, he's very pro-nature, which is very cool. He's also pro-men, which is not bad. He's into Baptiste, and I'm into Baptiste, just not the same way he is. But Baptiste is a dashing man. But anyway, what are my opinions about Lifeweaver? He does not heal a lot from what I've seen. The biggest gimmicks of his kit, ironically enough, is not his ult. A lot of people, their ult kind of goes crazy. I think Lifeweaver's ult, while it is something, you can't ignore it. It's a giant tree that heals. And the biggest thing about it is it can block things. It's like a character. It's like Bob. It's essentially a healing stationary Bob. But the ult is not that crazy. The craziest parts of his kit are a pedal platform as well as a grab that you can do. It's like a reverse Roadhog hook that you could use on your teammates. You can grab your teammates, make them invulnerable, and reposition them. So in general, I think he's going to be an extremely high skill capped character. I think the grab is going to make or break good Lifeweavers. And he's going to be really bad in low skill ranks and tiers. He is going to be really hard. His damage, his main attack is he shoots off like needles from like a rose. His healing is, literally a rose. It functions similar to a Brig health pack in terms of how it tracks. It just doesn't heal that much. He's not really that good of a healer. He's more of a movement specialist. He has a dash that heals him. It's like a Hanzo dash. It's a Hanzo midair jump. And in general, he seems very weird. He seems... I don't want to say he's good or bad. He seems very niche in terms of like what he can do with teams. It seems like he really enables his teammates to do damage. Not through actually buffing them, just through how they traverse the map. He's a very movement-oriented support. Now, usually when you think of support, you think of healing. I actually think this is one of the first couple of heroes that we have that is a support, but is not mainly primarily there for healing. Obviously, he still has to heal. But his main healing function, without his ult, does not heal for much, so that's where they kind of had to tack it onto the ult, I feel. But he has a lot of individual things in his kit that all work together that make him kind of crazy, I believe, if used by a good player. Now, the biggest make it or break it for me is his stupid pedal platform that you step on it and it lifts you into the air. Depending on how big this thing is, and if you can, be in cover, if you, crouch and back up from the enemy. I don't personally think you will be, but I haven't really seen it too much. I think the pedal platform, personally, from what I've seen and what it probably might be, I think is ass. But the biggest thing it's for is for repositioning. And repositioning is a very strong thing in Overwatch 2. Which is why his life grip, the thing that repositions you, is very powerful. If your teammate gets hooked, you literally can save them. If they fall off the map, save them. They get booped off the map, save them. Oh, they're in a Risa ult, drag them out. Like, there's a lot of things that grab could do if you don't use it stupidly. But he's interesting. I don't think he's going to be for me. We'll definitely see. I'll definitely try him out at some point or another, but I really don't think he's going to be either that good at first or for me, but only time will tell. And he has one of the first passives in the game where if you die, it's actually beneficial for your team. You can actually drop health on death. You drop a little seed for your team, and either your team or the enemy can pick it up. So if you feed on this character, because again, he's very high skill cap, if you're a bad player and you're feeding, you're actually still somewhat helping your team potentially. You can pedal out of Zariel. That's fucking crazy. Holy shit. That's actually crazy. So the pedal might be a really good counter for some stuff. Obviously, it's a good counter for a Risa ult. It's a good counter for a lot of things. It's just very niche, and I feel like it's going to be hard to use. Now, obviously, Zarya's ult is a main thing that's very easy to use it on. That's a very direct example of how it could be good. But I feel like a lot of other examples that are good are few and far between. And most of the time, to use this, you're going to have to be near like a professional level in Overwatch. But anyway, that's basically my opinions of Lifeweaver. He's probably going to be very hard skill capped, and I'm not going to like him, and I think they're going to need to buff him, personally. Anyway, let's go to general updates. Let's see. Accessibility. Added a setting to select custom colors for health, armor, shields, and whatever. Okay, cool. Stranded spawn system. Regrouping with your team after getting stranded in a spawn room has never been easier. Okay, so this was actually an annoying thing, right? When you're playing, let's just say, push, right, on Coliseum. Let's just say you're playing push and your teammates get the forward spawn, but you're in the back spawn. You kind of just have to run all the way there, and you might end up actually losing the fight and the robot because of that. So it's actually a really annoying thing. Have I reacted to the skins then? No, I have not. We're going to do that right next, though. Live at Twitch TV/Tecnics channel for all those on YouTube. But anyway, let's see what they're changing about it. Spawn rooms that shut down due to capturing or losing an objective will now remain partially active for 7 seconds. While you still can't change heroes in these spawn rooms, other new features have been activated. In these stranded spawns, the doors remain locked. The healing field remains active, and I can use the interact key to instantly teleport to the new active spawn room. Okay, that is an amazing change. That should have been in the game from the beginning. But it's good that they're finally adding it. So this is something I always say about Overwatch 2. They're improving. They're constantly improving over time. I'm not going to say they're not, but these should have been things that should have been in the game already. And you know what one of the biggest things is of that? The on fire system. Where the fuck is that? It's still in the game, they just hit it, and they keep saying they're going to get to it, but, you know, this is a AAA studio, not an indie development studio. The fact that their weeklies have been broken in terms of not only tracking, but also displaying for God knows how long when the game came out, or when the, I guess early access was released, an easy fix as just tracking it correctly to let us know the stats, and letting us know how many times we played a certain role, took them months to implement. So they definitely don't get any, good boy brownie points from me, but they're getting there. I'm not going to take away that they're getting there. It's just really long. But you know what? If No Man's Sky, the greatest game ever to release, has showed us anything, it's that it doesn't matter how long you take as long as you get there. But anyway, let's keep going. Matchmaking. Backfill players in unranked modes will now prioritize finding players closer to the skill level of other players in the match. That should have been there in the beginning, but cool. Competitive updates. Obviously, this applies to me because I'm top 500. So, top 500 leaderboard eligibility. Players will now be required to win 25 comp matches before being eligible to enter top 500 for a specific role queue or region. If you could get into top 500 in less than 25 games, there's something wrong with matchmaking. You should have to play a certain amount of games before you could get that high. Like, even if you're straight winning, you should not get that high that fast. It's not fair. It's just not fair. You're either abusing the matchmaking or something's up, or you're a god. Previously, we only required 25 games to be completed, regardless of winning prior to becoming eligible for top 500 leaderboards. However, this change should help make sure that players are consistently pushing towards winning matches, which should help ensure the leaderboards have the best players in each region. That is true. Unlike the League patch notes, I'm probably going to agree with a lot of the stuff they put in here. In League, I mostly disagree. All right, so competitive leaver penalty changes. This is an important one. So when you have a free-to-play game, you have to implement a very harsh system for people leaving because it's a free-to-play game. If they get banned, they could just go on an alt account and, that's the end of it. Now, granted, Overwatch, I believe, does have it in place where you do need to link your account to a phone number or an email or something. But it's still a little tricky to do in a free-to-play game. So, oh, you want me to zoom in? Okay, I could zoom in slightly. There we go. So they need to be more aggressive with it. Let's see if that's what they're going to do. Matches left in different competitive queues are still considered separate for purposes of determining the lengths of suspensions or receiving a seasonal ban. The start of the new competitive season also no longer fully resets the severity of these suspensions and bans. This should hopefully prevent players from leaving competitive games at the end of a season without facing meaningful consequences at the start of the next. Oh. Wait, so what are they doing? It no longer fully resets. Okay. So basically, you can't troll at the end of the season. Matches left at competitive play will also have a more negative effect on a player's skill tier and division after a 5-win competitive update. Wow. Interesting. Competitive point reward challenges. Okay, this is another thing. So a lot of things in Overwatch 2, like I said before with the weekly challenges and how they track things, were just either A, broken, or B, missing, right? Like, it's so stupid how long that took. I'm really held up on that. But regardless, another thing that used to be in the game that isn't is the skill tiers. Bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, and so on. They used to tell you how much CP you got, which is for the golden guns. I've looked high and low. I've looked up and down. I've went to the depths of the Mariana Trench and to the high heavens, and I could not find in the game where they tell me how many competitive points I get for ending gold, for ending bronze, for ending, silver, platinum, whatever. It's not in the game anymore. I don't know where they put it. I don't know why they took it out, but they did. At least as far as my stupid mind can see, because maybe it's there and I'm missing it, but I doubt that. But we could see it here. I just don't understand why these things are not in the game. When they used to be, it's like taking one step forward, 2 steps back. We had it in the game, then they removed it just to add it in later on in some cockamamie way, which is the same thing they did with how the rank system works now with the wins. But anyway, that's also something they've improved, but it's still not the way it used to be. But anyway, the number of competitive points rewarded for a win has been changed from 15 to 25. That's really good, because God knows it takes too fucking long to get a golden gun. I do feel like the golden gun should be something that you do have to work towards, but at this point it's more of a pipe dream. You have to play nonstop for multiple seasons to get one golden gun. It's like more heroes are going to release faster than you can get golden guns for them. And that says something. But in general, I also think if they're going to increase the competitive point gain, they should also just include more stuff you could buy with competitive points. I don't understand why we can only buy the golden gun. But, that's more of a pipe dream. Now that Overwatch is free to play, they're very much not going to be free player friendly. But anyway, let's see. The number of competitive points earned from seasonal challenges based on your final seasonal rank has also been updated. Games played after your last competitive update during a season will still count towards your final seasonal rank. Interesting. You must still compete in the season competitive play qualification challenge to receive bonus competitive points. Interesting. Games played after your last competitive update during a season will still count. Okay, so that's basically a tiny change of, it's going to be like a couple games difference. It's not the best change in the world, but it's more of, again, this should have been in the meantime. So basically, here's how they're saying it. So you know how every 5 wins or however many losses you get re-ranked? Apparently that's only when the challenges count or it gets added to the challenge. Because I actually know where you can go to see how much competitive points you're going to get. It's in the challenges tab for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why they moved it away from the leaderboards where you're at the ranked menu. But, it's Overwatch. So, apparently that would only get... The games you would win would only get added or lose would only get added after you get updated. So now it's just going to be a per game update, it looks like. So I guess that's good. But they're also upping the amount of competitive points you get, which is good. So in Platinum, I will get 800. So I'll get 300 more because I'm Platinum and I'm good at the game. Okay, very nice. So let's see. Seasonal competitive titles earned from challenges now distinguish between whether they are earned in open queue or roll queue. Damn! So they really calling people out now. So previously, a lot of people would go into open queue because it would be easier to do if you had like a coordinated group. And they would kind of flex like, yeah, look, I'm top 500. But meanwhile, it would be an open queue. It wouldn't be anything to really flex. Now it's going to show you as a liar or as like a cheapskate. Wow. I actually like that. That's funny. The goal of these changes is to prevent confusion about a player's rank from the previous season if they participate in multiple competitive queues. Yeah, alright, sure. Competitive match rank. The initial loading screen that shows all the participants will now show an icon at the top of the screen representing the average skill tier and division of all players in the match. This should provide players with a better comparison of their own rank to other players in the match. So that's actually a really good thing. I thought they were going to say that they're going to show everyone's rank above their like portrait, which would have been bad because again, the main reason Overwatch says they took out the on fire mechanic is because people would flame. So instead, they put in a scoreboard where you can see exactly how good and bad people are doing, and you can flame them even harder with actual facts. So, kind of backwards logic here. But this is where this is good because it doesn't show your individual one, it just shows your aggregated one as a pool. I think that's really good because you can't get individually flamed, even though people will still do it. Okay, seasonal rank decay removed. Starting with Season 4, a player's competitive rank will no longer be reduced at the beginning of a season. That's really good. Furthermore, the effects of this reduction of rank from previous season will also be removed. Depending on how many games they played during the previous season, most players will see their skill tier and division increase. A player's skill tier and division at the beginning of Season 4 will now closely match the estimate of my current skill, so aka the hidden MMR. That's not bad. The previous seasonal rank decay was causing considerable confusion for players who would see players in their competitive games who did not appear to be of similar rank. So basically, you would get put into bronze when you were in gold, and you would be fighting against other people who are not bronze, and you'd be confused. You'd be like, what the hell is going on? This is not bronze. Often these players were actually of similar skill, but they had not played enough games during the season to compensate for the decay of getting put into bronze. So they're fixing that. That's good. Competitive skill update and progression. So both the competitive progress and competitive update screens will now include information about a player's losses and ties as well as their wins. Again, this seems like basic information. As it is in the game before this patch goes out, which is on the 11th, so we actually have a few days before this even, ships out to us. You can't see how many times you lost. You can't see how close you are with ties or losses to your next re-ranking. You can only see it with wins. In what other game do they do this? In like an indie game where they haven't even finished it yet. Like I don't know what the hell this is. But again, I mean they're fixing it, so again, they're making a completed game piece by piece with things you would think take no time at all to implement, but are coming in how many months after? It's so crazy to me. Anyway, the competitive update screen will now also provide players with an indication of the current percentage progress within a skill division, which you used to know before, but, this will hopefully make it more clear how the results of games played during the update affect a player's skill tier and division. Cool. It is possible for players to have a positive win-loss record but not go up a skill division because the progress occurs entirely within a single division. This new message will allow players to see they did in fact make positive progress, just not enough. Thank God, because the worst feeling to have in Overwatch is to win however many games you need. It's 5 games. To win 5 games and then not go up in rank. It would go from Plat 4 to Plat 4. And you're like, what the hell? Like, what? There's also a similar message with competitive updates for players who are Grandmaster 1 but not yet top 500. Cool. So again, they're just putting a lot of stuff in the game that should have been in the game. Okay, on to the hero updates. Reinhardt, let's see what they're doing to Mr. Windhelm. So his armor is getting reduced from 300 to 250, and to compensate, his base health is going up from 175 to 200. So overall, he's losing 25 armor health. Just that's it. He's 25 less armor health hit points tanky in general, on top of the further 25 that he's gaining as regular health instead of armor. So overall, Reinhardt's going to be less tanky. Now, these numbers to me in League would not matter, but in Overwatch they do. So, what are they going to say? Reinhardt has been overperforming after the recent increase to his offensive capabilities. That's very true. This change have been playing well, so to adjust his overall power, they're making him squishier. That's fair. So Sigma. I'm assuming Sigma is going to get buffed because of the mythic skin that's releasing for him. I'm not sure, but let's see. Sigma Accretion. Impact damage reduced from 60 to 40. 80 damage total with the explosion. Wait, so is this an overall nerf? So it used to be 100, right? And now it's going down to 80 with the explosion because they're nerfing 20 damage? That's crazy. Knockdown duration increased from 0.8 to 1.1. Okay, so they're giving it back there at least. Like Roadhog's Chainhook, Sigma's Accretion and Primary Fire combo can be highly lethal and can feel like a guaranteed kill against 200 health targets, which it should be. If you're getting good enough to land the rock, which has a cast time, right? You need to actually charge up, and it's obvious. You can block it, you can get out of the way, and it's kind of hard to hit sometimes too. So I think if you do land it against a 200 health hero, which generally are pretty slippery, pretty sometimes mobile, right? You should be guaranteed the kill if you can aim. Because, I'll be the first one to admit, even when landing the rock, I almost sometimes don't get a lot of the times actually, I don't get the guaranteed kill because I can't aim. So if you do, I think you deserve it. But apparently they don't think so. So we're reducing the damage slightly and require an additional volley of primary fire, but also increasing the stun duration to provide your allies with more opportunity to follow up on successful impact. So overall, from what I've been noticing with the tanks, when they did the whole 6v6 to 5v5 format, tanks were very strong. And a lot of them got brought down to size. And now they're getting brought more down to size because tanks had a lot of power. Tanks were killing machines. Now they're more, okay, we're tanks, we can do stuff on our own, but the teammates can help us too. We're not just going to do everything on our own. Because for a long time, DPS players were kind of on the back foot. DPS kind of sucked. Hopefully that's changing, though. But yeah, sad to see Sigma nerfs. That's crazy. Wow. Cassidy. What are they doing to fucking McCree? Base health reduced from 225 to 200. Wow, they're nerfing him. Magnetic grenade damage reduced from 131. That was an odd number to 120. Wow. So magnetic grenade requiring one additional primary fire shot after sticking to a target was too reliable to execute on. That's kind of true. I mean, you wanted to keep his fantasy though, right? Of having the flashbang, because the flashbang against a lot of people was a guaranteed kill. So they wanted to make it more skillful with the magnetic grenade because, it does require a little bit more work with the magnetic grenade than it does with the flashbang. But you should still be getting the same thing if you're working for it. Now they're making you work even harder for it, similar to Sigma's thing, which is weird. I don't know why they're doing that. This is just a big nerf fest so far. So they're reducing the damage on the grenade, evenly split between the direct damage and the explosion. The reduced fall-off damage buff is primary fire receipt. Wait, what? Received recently enables Cassie to play from a safer engagement, so reducing his health back to 200. Damn, they're actually just straight nerfing him. Holy shit. Okay. Cassie's worse. Interesting. Sombra. EMP can now disable Blizzard. Okay, I was about to say this makes no fucking sense, but it kind of does, because the Blizzard isn't a real Blizzard. I was like, oh, Sombra can hack nature now. But no, that's not the case. You're hacking Snowball, which is creating the Blizzard, which actually makes sense. We are expanding what Sombra's EMP turns off to keep it consistent with how it affects her device-controlled ultimates. And again, I forgot this, but the Blizzard is controlled by Snowball, the little robot May owns. So, canonically, this makes sense, and this is a really good change. Sombra can now be a May counter. Cool. Alright, supports. Ana. I think Ana is one of the most busted healers in the game. I think if they have an Ana, you need to go Kiriko to counter her. You need to. I don't know how it was done before Kiriko was in the game. I feel like Ana was hands down the best healer. Now she's not the best healer, but she's one of the best. And I think you need Kiriko to counter her. I don't know what they're going to do, but let's see. Sleep Dart. Maximum duration on tank heroes reduced by 30%? What? Wait, is it only for tank heroes specifically? That's crazy. We've been watching how effective Sleep Dart has been in 5v5 gameplay. It hasn't been overly disruptive, but since it can significantly more reliably land against tanks because they're so fucking big, it's even more valuable to do so. Yeah, and it's easier too. Honestly, I thought this was kind of crazy, but it makes sense. You can hit tanks very easily, so it makes sense that you're not going to get as much value out of it because the sleep dart, similar to what I believe to be Sigma's rock, was supposed to be something that's hard to hit, so you're supposed to get rewarded for it. But honestly, if anything else, they're keeping it consistent because if they're going to nerf Sigma's rock, which is already, it's not as hard to hit as Anna's sleep in some ways or another, but it is somewhat hard to hit because it could be blocked. Anna's sleep dart is faster, but it's smaller, so it's harder in different ways. But they're at least keeping the same energy of, okay, if it's easy to do in some ways, we have to reduce its power. And it's easy to hit tanks, so they're reducing the power. Similar to Sigma's thing of, it's easy to kill 200 health heroes, so we're not going to let you do that. So if anything else, they're keeping it consistent. And honestly, I would agree, because as a tank player mainly now, I moved on from DPS, getting slept by Ana, I knew I would always get slept because I'm fucking ginormous, and she would always wait till I'm ulting, either on Ramatra or whoever, right? And because it was so easy to hit me, it was like a free sleep that would really impact the fight, because she knows to do it when I'm ulting. It's crazy. So honestly, this change is a good change. I thought it was kind of crazy, but it's good. Brigitte, my main healer, besides Zenyatta. Rally. Oh god, they're touching Rally. Let's see. Brigitte now gains 100 restorable armor health pool for the duration. So they're buffing it from green health, which is pretty big. Brigitte no longer gradually builds temporary health like her nearby allies. Wait, so do you just get 100 armor health off the rip, but you don't get it back? Rally now upgrades her barrier shield, increasing both its size and health. Barrier health is basically almost a Rhine shield. It's like a Sigma shield, actually. 750 health during the ult. During rally, Shield Bash now impacts multiple enemies and stuns them. And the bonus move speed is reduced from 30 to 15. What the fuck? What? What? They just reworked Brig. They just reworked Brig to be more of a team fighter. What the hell? She's basically actually mini Reinhardt now when she's ulting. What? This is like huge. This is a huge change. Holy shit. To call this a buff would be, I think, an understatement. Sure, she gets which it's restorable. Wait, the health armor is restorable. What the fuck? So not only is she tankier, but now she has a shield you're gonna have to break through, similar to Orion. This reminds me of Overwatch 1, just, double tank. If you want to get back to Overwatch 1 double tank meta, run Brig with Rhine. What the hell is this? And the fact that you could stun multiple enemies? Dude, what the hell? Alright, Brig got Omega buffed. Interesting. And they want to nerf Sigma. If you can land your rock on people, we don't think you should kill them if you can aim afterward too. But on Brig, we want you to CC AoE stun people with your ginormous fat cock shield. Huh? What? Man, whatever. But, I like Brig, I play Brig, so honestly, I'm not complaining. I actually really like this change, I'm excited for this. Repair pack. Oh my god, there's more? Range reduced from 30 to 25. Okay, I mean, it's fair. Rally lost some of its power with the change from granting allies additional armor to temporary health. That is true. And overall took a relatively long time to build its defensive benefits. That's kind of true, but I think it's more fair. This rework is intended to keep it as a defensive ultimate ability, but with a more immediate impact due to gaining a giant Rhine fuck you shield. Which can be utilized to block for teammates with their temporary health builds up or interrupt enemies with the stun. That is crazy. Like, the nerfs are there, but they almost get overshadowed completely by this whole rework they gave her. What is this? Honestly, what is this shit? This is actually fucking insane. It's actually wild. But anyway, let's keep going. Brig is definitely better. Mercy. What do I think of Mercy? I think Mercy is kind of weak. I've said this before on stream, live at Twitch TV/Tecnics channel. I stream every day. I'm actually doing this live on Twitch TV/Tecnics channel, which you can watch me every day. I think Mercy, after the change of having her passive being moved from her having enhanced healing role passive to it being dependent on you healing a teammate, I think it was a huge nerf for her. And why is that? It's a buff in low elo, it's a nerf in high elo, and here's why. In low elo, people don't know to focus you. They're gonna focus the tank, and even if some people decide to shoot you, unless they focus you, you're not gonna die because you're gonna be healing off you healing the tank. And if the tank is low and you're healing the tank under 50, you're healing for more, which means you're healing yourself for more. So in low elo, this doesn't matter if it's actually a buff, the old Mercy change. But for high elo, when you're gonna get focused, sometimes you relied on the fact that your passive healing started quicker than any other supports. And it was powerful too. You regen fast. Once they took that away and made it the same as everyone else's, Mercy is very much at the mercy, no pun intended, to her teammates' positioning, which now Lifeweaver can interrupt and, he can fuck with. But Mercy is very much at their mercy, right? If they're out of position, she's out of position. She dies, and you're gonna die more often than not because you don't have the old passive which got you healing sooner and better. So now it's more reliant on your teammates, and anytime you're more reliant on your teammates in a type of game like this, it's a nerf. So obviously they're buffing her from 45 healing to 55. So this is gonna help with her new passive of she's gonna heal herself. But I don't know how to feel about this. Oh, and healing is no longer increased for allies under half health. Okay, so she's basically just getting hard nerfed again. Interesting. Guardian Angel, cooldown reduced from 2.5 to 1.5. Alright, so if you already couldn't aim, good luck trying to kill her again. Jump and crouch cancel active ability state duration increased from 1 to 1.5. Okay, cool. The jump and crouch cancel active ability state can no longer be manually interrupted to begin the cooldown early. Okay, that's fine. Mercy's getting hard nerfed healing wise, but kind of buffed mobility wise. So they want her to be more mobile, which is, I think, a fair niche, honestly. Okay. And then Valkyrie. Support role passive healing is now active for the duration of Valkyrie. I don't really know what that means, but maybe they'll elaborate on it. So, the recent increase to Guardian Angel's jump cancel mobility still needs to be kept in check, but while the last iteration was simple, it had some unintended effects, such as not being ready to use again. To use GA again. Oh, Guardian Angel. Again after flying and using Resurrect. Their vision provides more flexibility. Okay, so they're just naming nonsense here. The increased healing multiplier condition on Kata's staff was intended to help Mercy players feel more agency into trying to save critical health allies, which I actually feel it did. I actually think that change was good. To add depth to the healing mechanic without changing the total time to heal to full health. However, the overall rebalance of the healing values received significant negative feedback. Oh my god, my grandparents are here. Nah. Gainichta. Alright, cool. So we're saying goodnight. Anyway, both from those playing as Mercy... Okay, wait. The overall rebalance of the healing values received significant negative feedback, like I said. It felt really shitty. Both from those playing as Mercy and those playing against it. There wasn't a satisfying middle ground where we could reduce the potency of this effect while still having it feel impactful, so we're reverting it. So basically they were wrong. The Mercy Valk changes means when she uses her ult, her passive healing can still work. Wait, so it shut off when she was using Valkyrie? I don't get it. Why would it do that? What the fuck? What? It didn't used to shut... It used to shut off? What? That's fucking insane. But yeah, Mercy, I don't know what they're doing there. I feel like they're just making her worse because I don't think she was too good, but I feel like Mercy's overall kind of worse for this. She's more equalized because she is doing more healing consistently. Like before you would do more healing when they're below half, now you're just doing it consistently more, but you're not doing as much if they're lower. But I don't know how I feel about the passive. The passive is the main contention point, but I guess we'll just play and see. Moira. I think Moira is really good. I think Moira is my probably favorite healer to play, honestly, besides Zen. And I don't know, I think she's great. I think she's really cool. I think they should make it so we can actually buy skins for her with the old currency, though. So what are they doing to Moira? So you can now fade during Coalescence. That's fucking broken. Coalescence, you now get reduced movement speed, but that's fine considering you can coalesce during it, and you get bonus movement speed coalescing. And then the Biotic Grasp. So lingering heal duration increased from 2 to 3 seconds. What? Wait, they're mega buffing Moira. What? Being able to use Fade during her coalescence gives Moira more playmaking ability, as if she didn't have enough. Honestly, in the high elos, it probably makes sense, because if you're coalescing, Ryan's just going to ult you. Like, someone's going to ult you, someone's going to take care of you. So honestly, it makes sense, but wow, that feels really strong for, like, lower elos. Lower elos, I think Moira's already rampant. She's a noob killer. So giving her the ability to fade while ulting, I wonder if it still ticks down your ult charge or if it pauses it. You know, to be fair, it really should just tick down the whole way. But this is kind of crazy, honestly. So anyway, so she can avoid potential threats, reposition more quickly, and BOP. Due to the more spread out playstyle of 5v5, we're increasing the lingering heal duration from her primary fire, meaning it will heal more in total. Wow. So they nerfed Mercy, at least in terms of healing, not in terms of mobility, and they're increasing Moira's mobility and her healing. Interesting. This seems kind of ridiculous. Anyway, map pools have been updated. Okay, all maps are... Oh, wait, yeah, okay, so this is what they were doing. I don't know why this happened again. Overwatch likes to make really stupid changes, but again, I'll say it again, they're reverting them and they're fixing them. I just don't know why they had this little brain hiccup in the first place, but at least they're not being stupid. At least they're not staying stupid. That's the biggest thing. They're not staying stupid. But anyway, map pools have been disabled, so now you can play every fucking map. Thank you, God. Because I really like some of the old maps, and having them not be on rotation hurt my soul. So there's a new arcade map, Talantis. You designed it, we built it. An underwater Tecnics. An underwater talon base with jump pads, pit traps, giant fish, and waterfalls. That kind of sounds pretty cool. I have no clue what it looks like, but it sounds cool. It sounds like Atlantis, but it's with Talon. So, pretty interesting naming convention there. Talantis will be playable for a limited time? No! What the hell? Okay, so they added new lighting. They added dawn for Queen Street, ew. Morning for Coliseo, ew. And morning for Esperanza, ew. I hate the daytime. Hybrid. Okay, I'm not going to go through all these. Basically, the maps look different at different times of day. Cool. Workshop updates. For all you people who have a creative bone in your body, here you go. I'm not reading this shit. This isn't for me. Bug fixes. I should probably read these, but I don't care. We're already on this for too long. And then maps. They fixed some shit on the maps. Okay. And then they fixed a lot of bugs on some heroes, which we're not going to go over. And overall, that's the patch notes. So, look at what they put here. We can look at the the bottom here. Did they just make Moira easier? Yes, they did, and Moira was already easy. Cassie nerfs are a joke. I don't know if they mean good or bad. Patch notes legitimately killed any interest I had in Season 4. Well, what a great start. Workshop is abandoned, and where's the fix about copy-paste failing? No one cares. Why would Overwatch fix something like that? They barely have time to fix stuff that needs to be in the game. Let me see what they did with Workshop. I'm actually curious, because why are they talking about it? Where is it? Here we go. There are 3 new workshop actions allowing players to create a fully functioning projectile or a cosmetic. So are they saying they forgot about workshop because they didn't add more? 'Cause, you know, at least they added something, right? But who knows? I'm not into workshop. But overall, that's the patch notes. Pretty interesting changes. Pretty interesting changes. Overall, I really like the Brig changes. It changes stuff up a lot. They might have to nerf her. The Moira changes is like, why the fuck would they do that? A big thing to just general, not even like hero changes, just general changes, updates. Stranded spawn system is amazing. Accessibility, always good. Matchmaking, good. Competitive updates, really good. A lot of good changes, honestly. If I had to rate this patch notes, I would probably rate it, I would say 8 out of 10 Jeff Kaplan's. For sure. 8 out of 10 Jeff Kaplan's. But anyway, that's going to be it. I hope everyone enjoyed. And like I said before, I stream every day at Twitch TV/Tecnics channel. I actually react to a lot of the things live on here. You can react with me. You can catch me every day. And if you miss it, you can react to it on YouTube, which is hopefully where you're watching this now. But anyway, hope everyone enjoyed.